Hello my dear ones, it's me again, Embry. I have been sitting on this footage for ages. I actually finished this linen shirt months ago, and it's a garment that I'm actually really proud of. It's this beautiful cream linen that I got from my trip down to Rainbow Fabrics in Chicago, and I think it's actually some of my most precise sewing yet. I'm really proud of it. I kept waiting on doing something with this footage because I had hoped that shortly I would be more comfortable wearing this shirt and I could get some amazing reveal footage to add to the roll. And I'm really glad I get to show it to you, but I'm not actually going to talk about this shirt much. 2 years ago, I had a gender-affirming chest reduction. It was really important to me and it made my life much more manageable in ways that I can't even really describe. But waiting for that surgery was actually what started my sewing journey. In 2020, my surgery ended up being delayed almost 4 months thanks to COVID, and I spent that time kind of finding out what I needed to do with myself in order to not go completely stir crazy. And for me, that was sewing things and learning to sew specifically so that I could plan for and anticipate and find joy in this future body that I would be inhabiting. So I am in a lot of ways very thankful for that delay, because it led me to this amazing community and this new hobby and all of these wonderful things, this learning that I've done. But that delay was very painful. That reduction was really important, but there were a lot of frustrating factors in the whole process. I went through 3 different insurance plans during that process of trying to get that surgery, and 2 out of the 3 plans did not cover trans surgeries. And the 3rd plan that I had, it did cover it, but only one particular surgeon, and I hadn't heard good things about him. And it was pretty clear just from the way that some of the language was worded and some of the care providers I interacted with, it was very much not going to be easy to get as a non-binary person. It was catered to trans men and trans women, and that's great, but they were not really set up to anticipate or approve surgeries for people who don't fit into the binary. So because of all of that and a bunch of other things, I ended up pursuing it as a cosmetic surgery. And please imagine me using the biggest air quotes imaginable when I say cosmetic, because it was not cosmetic, it was medical. But that's just how it ended up having to go for a myriad of reasons. So the surgery itself was successful, and it was also not the result I needed. It was deeply important, and it cost a lot of money, and it was not what I needed, and it was exactly what I needed to do at that time. All of these things are true at once. For a while after my surgery, I convinced myself it was fine, but it became clear as swelling went down and what was left was not swelling, that this was going to be kind of step 1 for me, and that there was going to have to be a step 2 in the future. A little over a year ago, I started working towards what I have been calling in my head, quote, finishing the job, end quote. It involved me getting on a completely different insurance that does cover trans surgeries, getting a letter from a therapist so I would qualify as a, quote, real trans, end quote. And again, please use huge air quotes for this, because gatekeeping is bullshit, and no, just all of that is no. The whole process of having to get a letter from a therapist to prove that you are in fact able to make decisions for your own body is insulting and infantilizing, but I digress. That is a discussion for another time. And after all of that, there was a 6-month wait list for a consultation with the surgeon. The consultation went great, and then it was a 2 to 3 month prior authorization approval process where the insurance company would review everything and decide that I wasn't, quote unquote, a real trans and that I did need this. And then after that, it was a 3 to 4 month wait for a surgery date. All in all, the surgery date was scheduled for May 27th of 2022. I was so ready. I am so ready. I have been ready since December of 2019 when I started this process, originally, for step 1. You might be watching this in the far future, but no matter what, May 27th of 2022 will be in the past. Once again, my gender-affirming care is on hold because of COVID-19. This time, it's not because the hospital systems are shut down, which is good, very glad for that, but it is because my surgeon tested positive for COVID. As far as I can tell, she's doing fine. It's just a logistical problem, not a health problem, but it is still a problem for me, specifically. I'm being selfish here. It is a problem for me. I will still get the surgery, like, it's not canceled, but it is now 2 months away again, and my little internal counter, beating down the days like a euphoria clock instead of a doomsday clock, just has some more work to do. It has been more demoralizing and more frustrating and more sad than I anticipated. I kind of thought to myself that this wouldn't bother me as much because I've already had step 1. This is just step 2. Like, it's just more of the same process. It's been a long time already. But the reality is, it does bother me, and it has worn me down a bit. It sucks, you know? It really does, but that's life. Sometimes things take longer than you want them to. And sometimes you deal with a lot of transphobia in your attempt to get what you need. And as much as I would like to say it's been an easy process, I've dealt with a lot of roadblocks. I have one of the easiest jobs navigating this, so I cannot even imagine what it is like to navigate this as a person who maybe has autism, or maybe is a person of color, or, you know, all of these things just add roadblocks, and it is already so difficult, and I have so much empathy for everyone out there dealing with this. You are not alone. There isn't much of a point to this video. I have just been in the dumps a little bit, and I wanted to share some of what's going on in my life with you. Someday you will see me wearing this shirt, and I will feel right and comfortable inside it. But today is not that day. In the meantime, and I say this honestly and with love, happy Pride. Pride started as a riot, and it was led by trans women of color, and we will not forget it ever. So do me a favor. Be queer and make stuff. All right, bye-bye, y'all. I want to say a big thank you to everyone who is a supporter on Patreon. Genuinely, the Patreon community over on Discord is one of the things that makes me smile every day. There are some incredible people there who make incredible things and just share pictures of their dogs and their cats and little flowers they see and sewing projects that they're working on and struggles they are dealing with, and it is just one of the best communities I've honestly found. So a big thanks to everyone there who is not only supporting me like financially in some of these projects, but also supporting me emotionally, and I hope to support them all as well, because that's what a community does. If you want to join us over there, or if you want to support in any other way, you can find out more information at bequeermakestuff.com or patreon.com/bequeermakestuff. Okay, goodbye for real. You got such a quiet little purr. Does it show up? Oh, that's a good kitty. Yeah. Okay, we're recording though. Oh, Sweet Bean, I'm recording, Sweet Bean. Oh, don't you eat that cord. I love you.